Let's begin. Today's September 10th, 2024, and we're solving the Daily Turing Machine Puzzle. Today's puzzle uses the following 6 criteria cards. Criteria card 2, 7, 9, 13, 17, and 19. And the puzzle uses the orange verification cards. The code above is your way to get more information on today's puzzle by searching the code on turingmachine.info. Let's go solve. So in the grid above, we've got our 6 criteria cards. On the top row, we've got criteria card A, criteria card B, and criteria card C. On the bottom row, we've got criteria card D, criteria card E, and finally criteria card F. So criteria card A looks at our first digit, the triangle digit, and compares it to the number 3. So should the triangle value be less than 3, should it be equal to 3, or should it be greater than 3? Criteria card B looks at our last digit, the circle digit, and will let us know if it's an even digit or an odd digit. Criteria card C will look at the 3-digit solution and will let us know how many of those digits are 3. Are there no 3s? Is there a single 3? Perhaps 2, maybe even all 3 are 3. Criteria card D will look at our middle and last digits, square and circle, and compare them. So should the value of square be less than circle? Should they be equal, or should the value of square be greater than circle? Criteria card E again looks at our 3-digit solution, except this time it'll tell us how many evens there are. Are there no evens? Is there a single even? Maybe 2, perhaps even all 3 are even. And finally, criteria card F will take a look at our first and middle digit, triangle and square, add them together, and compare that sum to the number 6. So should the sum be less than 6? Should it be equal to 6? Or should it be greater than 6? And remember, the objective of today's puzzle is to find that unique 3-digit code that abides by all the 6 criteria cards we just discussed. And we're going to start off with an initial proposal of 314. So the first thing I want to test is criteria card B. Okay, so the Turing Machine does not approve of what I chose for circle. I did choose an even 4, but because it doesn't agree with that, the Turing Machine is letting me know that circle should be an odd digit. So let's go ahead and type that up in our notes in section B. And that again is that circle is an odd digit. Okay, and since it's odd, obviously it cannot be even, so let's go ahead and cross out the evens for circle. Okay, let's see. Well, I think what I'm going to do is I am going to, let's go ahead and test criteria card F. Okay, so in this case, Turing Machine does agree with my proposal. Since we're looking at triangle and square, let's take a look. I do have a 3 for triangle and 1 for square. And when we add them up, we get a sum of 4, which is less than 6. So that's what the Turing Machine is confirming, is that the sum of the first 2 digits should be less than 6. So let's go ahead and type that up in section F. And that again is that triangle plus square let's see. There we go. And that the sum of the first 2 digits should be less than 6. So what can we say about triangle or square? The sum of the first 2 digits should be less than 6. Well, I believe that neither triangle nor square can be 5, because if you add a 5 with a minimum of 1, you already have 6. And obviously if you add anything bigger than 1, it'll be greater than 6. So yeah, I think it's fair to say that we can cross out both 5s for triangle and square. Just experiencing a little bit of lag. Okay, so what's next? Let's see. Well, we do have an odd for circle. I wonder if we tested criteria card D, if that would help. Try and see what else. Yeah, let's go ahead and let's go ahead and test criteria card D. Okay, so that again, the Turing machine approves. We're comparing square and circle, so notice that I did choose a 1 for square and 4 for circle. So the Turing machine confirms that yes, square should be less than circle. So let's go ahead and type that up in our notes in section D. And that again is that square should be less than circle. Okay, so what can we say about that? Well, I think we can say that circle cannot be a 1, because if circle were 1, what would be smaller than 1? There is nothing. So that means circle cannot be a 1. And let's see what else. Yeah, I think everything else is okay, because 4 is less than 5, as is everything else, and even 1 and 2 are smaller than 3. So yeah, I think there are all candidates that are less than at least one of the circles. So I think that's all we can say about that. Yeah, we really can't say much about square, whether it's even or odd, but that'll be something for the next round, which does bring us to the fact that we did complete our 3 Turing tests for round 1. So now we're going into the phase where we'll discuss how to construct a good second round proposal. So notice that we did not test criteria card A comparing triangle to the number 3. We also didn't confirm how many 3s there are. 3s are all open, so who knows. And then of course we did not test criteria card E, the number of evens. Okay, well, as far as evens go, at most we've got 2, since we've already confirmed circle to be odd. And as I said, there are all 3, so it could obviously it can't be 3 3s, because we know that square has to be smaller than circle. So at least we know at most there's 2, and then again triangle is pretty much wide open with the exception of 5. So it is interesting though that we crossed out both 5s for triangle and square. I'm not sure if that's any kind of indication that they both could be even. I'm not sure. Let's see. So it's always interesting to have criteria card C, the number of 3s, versus criteria card E, the number of evens. That's always an interesting kind of balancing act. So let's see. If the first 2 were even, what would that mean? There's nothing that says they have to be distinct. Obviously, triangle, we could figure out what triangle would be, but what about square? there's also nothing about the order of them. So that's kind of interesting. So I'm kind of leaning towards triangle either being a 3 or a 4, because again, triangle being less than 3, how would you pick? I guess 1 and 2, maybe because it's an even, maybe even then. And then what would square be? Square obviously has to be smaller than circle. So somehow we have to force even circle to be one or the other. It could be that there are maybe no 3s, and it forces circle to be 5. And then, so let's see, let's consider that. What if there were no 3s? Okay, forces circle to be 5. And what about triangle and square? If there are no 3s, I don't think it'd be as simple as there's no 3s and no evens, and you'd get both 1s. I guess that's plausible. But again, how would you choose the evens? Maybe if there's 1 even in triangle, okay, you could probably figure it out because it's less than or greater than 3. But what about square? Could you say, yeah, I just don't see, there's no 3s, no evens, 1, 1, 5. Yeah, maybe, let's see, if there are no 3s, then why would you need this card? Especially if there were no 3s and no evens. It would default to 1 and 1. So I don't think that's going to be the case. Then maybe there's a single 3. A single 3. And maybe it is equal to 3 exactly. A single even, but then how would you choose? Oh, let's see. If there's single 3, maybe if triangle were greater than 3, that'd be a 4. Maybe there are 2 evens, and the way it's going to play out is that, oh, I had it. Oh, let's see. So somehow it's going to be 4 and 2 because triangle will be greater. There's a second even, and that's going to be 2. And there's a single 3, and that's going to be circle. So it'd be something like 4, 2, 3, maybe. Because, yeah, so if there are 2 evens, we know it'd be triangle and square, leaving circle to be the only odd. And there's only 1 3, and it's circle. And then, yeah, let's go with 4, 2, 3. Okay, so let's see. We may be able to deduce triangle. Well, maybe not. Let's see. Let's go ahead and test criteria card E, the number of evens? No, there are not two evens. Okay. So let's see. We know there can't be three evens because that would make this card irrelevant, right? Because if there are three evens, there'd be 0 threes. Can't have that. It didn't like my two evens, so either there's one or two, either one or no even digits. So let's go ahead and type that up in the notes. So the solution has one or no evens. Yeah, I didn't like my two. There can't be three, so there are either one or no evens. Okay, so interesting. So that means that either triangle or square are odd. Not necessarily three, but odd. And now I'm wondering if maybe triangle is 3. Well, I guess let's go ahead and let's see. Yeah, I guess let's go ahead and, well, let's see. So at most there can be 2 3s because we know there's an even. But there also could be no 3s. We still have some 1s and 5s. Okay, let's go ahead and test criteria card C, the number of 3s. Okay, so yes, there is at least one 3-digit. Okay, so let's go ahead and type that up in our notes, that the solution has a single 3-digit. Still a little bit of lag. Single 3-digit. Okay, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's circled. It could be a 5. Okay. Let's see what else. So we do have 1 3 and either a 1 or a 5. Okay. Well, I'm not really looking favorably at my choice for triangle. Okay, well, let's go ahead and test A. Yeah. Okay. So obviously it's not, triangle is not greater than 3. So yes, it's not 4. And so let's type up in our notes that triangle is either less than or equal to 3. Well, that does it for this round. We did complete our 3 Turing tests for round 2. Now we'll have to come up with a new proposal for round 3, given what we know. Okay, so there's a single 3. So if circle were to be 3, how would you choose among 1 and 2 for triangle? It could be even, it could be odd. If it's odd, then how would you, oh yes, let's not forget that the sum of the first 2 has to be less than. Well, that really doesn't help us because I think everything we have, at least in some combination, adds up to less than 6. Even 4 and 1. Okay. But let's go back to, if circle were 3, then it's either, triangle's either even or odd. Let's see. I'm really thinking that maybe triangle is 3 because there's an outright option for that to occur. So if that's a 3, then we know square is even, and it forces you to pick the 2 for the sum to be less than, and then because there's only one 3, it would default circle to be 5. So that definitely is an option. But so is 1, 4, 3. But again, but 1, 2, 3 also works if it's less than. Yeah, I think the simplest case is that triangle is 3, forcing square to be 2, and then circle to be 5. Well, I don't see anything else. There's probably too many possibilities, so let's go ahead. And I think we only truly do have to test triangle to be 3, because I think everything else, almost like a domino effect, square and circle default to those values. So let's go ahead. Yeah, let's do 3, 2, 5. Okay, so I think again the only thing we have to test is A, and yes. Okay, fantastic. So yeah, so triangle is the lone 3. So let's cross out everything but 3, and that defaults, let me bring this all the way back. That defaults square to be 2, because that's the only digit that 3 can be added to in order for the sum to remain smaller than 6. So nothing else will work. So we can cross out 3, 4, and 5. And of course that then defaults circle to be 5, since there is only one 3. And so yeah, it looks like 3, 2, 5 is our solution, based on everything we've confirmed thus far. And I guess we can update the notes here, and I think did we, I guess we are deducing that there is at least one even. Oh wow, I didn't even consider that, I'll be honest with you. But let's see, if that were the case, yeah, I'm thinking, well, could it be 3, 1, 5? Oh no, now I'm really concerned. Could there be no evens? That is a possibility. Yeah, you know what? Let me go ahead and test E one more time, because there is a possibility that it could be a 1 and not a 2. 2 makes sense, but we never really established the fact whether there are 1 or no evens. Okay, yeah, let's see how it goes. Yeah, okay, so yes, it's true that triangle is equal to 3, and yes, it's true that there is at least one even. Okay, it was costly. It may cost us how we did with the Turing machine, but again, got to play it safe sometimes. Okay, so yep, it looks like 3, 2, 5 is our solution. So let's go see how we did. or let's actually confirm that that is a solution. So 3, 2, 5. Okay, fantastic. But how did we do against the Turing Machine? We did 8 tests versus 6 criteria cards. So we tested A and E twice. So let's take a look. So we did B, D, F in the first round, got the last 2 correct, and then we did the remaining 3 in the second round and only got C correct, and then of course A and E we did again in the third round and got those correct. So again, it's a B, D, F in the first round. So B was incorrect, D and F were correct, A was incorrect, C was correct, E was incorrect, and then we tested A and E in the third round and they were both correct. Okay, that was close. So we tied, which is still a win. So fantastic. Yeah, I think obviously knowing what the solution is now, of course, I didn't have to test E, but technically we had not resolved that, and we couldn't necessarily deduce that it was an even. I truly do believe it could easily have been, there could have been no evens, defaulting square to be 1 instead of 2. And so I think it was the right choice, and we still beat the Turing Machine with a tie. Okay, well, what do you think about this puzzle? I think it was, quite deep, right? We did have to go to 3 rounds and 8 questions, so it wasn't an easy one. But what are your thoughts? Was there any efficiencies that I missed out on? Please add your thoughts to the comments. If you liked the video, please do give it a thumbs up so that more people can find the channel. And of course, please subscribe to not miss out on any future videos. Well, until next time, have a great one.